as we dropped in the chat, we are from coast to coast, but we are catching people in New Zealand, from the Philippines. Super fun how technology can bring us together. And what's exciting about that is we have a lot of valuable information that we share on these. So if you have not been on a Wellness Wednesday before, these are educational topics that we cover a vast array of wellness topics where we bring in experts. And tonight is our Dr. Brett. So super excited to have him here. But save this link in the notes of your phone, because every Wednesday at the same time, we do these Wellness Wednesdays with different topics. So I know that you're going to be wowed by the information that you're hearing tonight. What we're talking about tonight, I know impacts so many people, young and old, from all over the globe. So this is something that we're excited to bring to you. A little background on me. I am Jamie Williams. I'm coming to you from Hastings, Nebraska, in the middle of the good old heart of America. And my background is I am an exercise specialist in cardiac and pulmonary rehab. And I worked in our hospital setting for 13 years serving that role. And I loved my job. I love helping people on their wellness journey. I love educating people and connecting with people on how they can live better. And really that came from watching so many of my own family members, my dad specifically, struggle with health issues. Raise your hand if you're one of those people that you know someone directly affected by illness and how it's impacted their life. I saw that at a young age. Yes, so many hands, guys, so many hands. Your health is the biggest asset that you have. And when that's taken away from you, there's so much quality of life that's taken away. So that is where my passion for wellness and people and helping them in that journey came. But I will tell you, my world has transitioned a little bit. I am a former college athlete. I'm proud to say I'm a two-time national champion. I played basketball in college. So I have been an active person my entire life, and I hope to stay that way.
Recording in progress.
That's your life, and I hope to stay that. Sorry, okay, somebody muted there. Thank you. So I'm excited for this information because I know that from a young age in my wellness background and wanting to continue to be an active person and active adult, and now I'm a mom to 4 kids. My kids are 10, 7, and I have twin 3-year-olds. So having the energy and having the stamina and making my body perform like I want it to is important to me because I want to serve the role of being an active, healthy mom and being a good role model to my kids. Because I hope that you all can relate to this and understand this topic in our world, that obesity and child health issues and a lot of health-related issues are prevalent in the world right now. It's an epidemic, right? People are getting sicker quicker at a younger age, and this is something that we need to bring to the forefront of how we can combat these issues. So tonight I'm super excited because Dr. Brett is a great friend of mine. He's become a friend of mine over the course of the last few years and is a wealth of knowledge. He's got over 25 years training health professionals. He is a doctor of chiropractic, but his background is far more extensive than that. So let me introduce Dr. Brett. And Brett, I want you to elaborate on your background because I want people to understand the value and the knowledge that you bring to us tonight.
It's always fun to be with you. So national champion in basketball, and she probably will crush me. So I'll have to, take that to heart. But and then a champion mom. So I think both are absolutely amazing. And guys, I appreciate everybody being here. I look across and I see different people on here and faces, and what I see is a lot of moms, some grandmas, grandfathers out there, dads, moms, people that they have people that they care about. And I'm sure some of you probably today worried about somebody or wonder, hey, I wonder if I could help this person, or maybe it's your own family that's struggling. And so my whole life has been in the healthcare space. And I mean, say my whole life because I grew up in a space where my dad, he was raised by a contractor, ended up getting injured and got carried into a chiropractor's office. The chiropractor helped him get well. And the chiropractor convinced my dad he needed to go to chiropractic school to help the world the way he was helped. And so literally that's what I grew up under. And our whole mission was to help people like we've been helped. And so for the past, really 25 years, I've been teaching and training with my dad physicians all across the world, trying to give people a perspective on what health really is and how do they regain the health. Your body wants to be well, but many people just do not understand the rules. And nor they have the people to help them get there. And so I'm just glad to be here as I look across this and see people from all over the world. Like, I know if we can help you, then you can help those that you love and care about. If we can help you have the energy you need, and the health you need, then you can be the best mom, best grandma, best grandfather, best athlete. If you're currently an athlete or want to be athlete like me, that still likes to be active and try to keep up with my freshman that loves sports. So I'm just excited to be here. So yeah, my background is huge in the medical world, but I've been in clinical practice for 23 years. So had a lot of experience working with real people, I call them. So I'm just excited to be here, Jamie, excited to be here with you.
Thank you. So Brett is very modest. He has had his hand in a lot of things over the course of his career, and I'm so grateful for his knowledge that he's bringing to us, because these Wellness Wednesdays, he is being featured a lot, and it's because he has such a vast knowledge in our bodies and optimal function of how we can make our bodies work their best. And it's through other products and other practices, and that's where he brings this expertise. So I'm so glad that you're here to share that with us tonight, Brett. So the topic tonight is really joint pain, joint health. How can we keep your body in motion and feeling active? Because I know that that's what a lot of people crave. We just not everybody knows how to accomplish that. That maybe we have had some setbacks, maybe we've had injuries, maybe we've got some illness, or maybe we lack motivation or education, and we don't know how to get to the point where we can be happy, healthy, and active, because that's really what your body's designed to do, is stay in motion. That's what we want. That's where we thrive. So Brett, on the topic of tonight with joint health, will you just tell us what happens inside of our bodies, and more specifically in our joints, why we have pain and dysfunction?
Just thinking about this a lot today, but like most people come in to see me, they don't come in and say, hey, I'm looking for a collagen, or hey, I'm looking for a product. They're saying, hey, and I want you to ask yourself this question right now, maybe in a show of hands, like, is there something about how you feel that's keeping you from doing something you love, or doing it at a higher level, right? Is there something that you love to be able to feel better, so you can do more of, right? So if that's you,
then you wonder why the guy kids have some asshole comments anytime I ask them not to do that.
Hold on. Hang on. Let me see if hang on for a second.
Now,
Nisha, I think that is.
look at this. My little face.
Hang on.
That's not old people.
you can, you know.
I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, anyway, so you know what we just had happen there, where you couldn't hear, right? That happened inside your cells. Your cells are always trying to communicate one with the other, and if it can't hear or understand, it literally can't heal. And so, yeah, as a chiropractor, like one of the things that happens is all of us are going to break down, like all of us. But at what rate are you breaking down? And so your body has processes in them that are supposed to be working right. If they do, literally, you'll heal faster. So are you healing at the rate you think you are? Let's just say, so I'm 48 here in a week. Now I play basketball with guys in their 20s, right? And all that means is I'm doing different things than most 48-year-olds are to perform at that level. But if you feel older than you currently are, then odds are it's because you're not doing the things that you could be doing to allow your body to function at a different level. So there's a chronological age and there's a biological age. And if you feel older than you are, it's literally because your cells are acting older than they are.
It's 20.
So the goal is we need to help you learn how to make your cells young again. Okay, and that's what we're all about. It's literally what you talked about, Jamie, with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pain and dysfunction you watch in your family, but it's literally the loss of memories that we have with people because they don't feel good. Right, and that's really what matters. You know, not be able to be the type of grandma or mom you want to be because of how you feel. And so what we want to do with these Wellness Wednesdays is literally educate you on number one, the rules, and understand that your body's super capable, and understand like there are products and tools that if you had them, you would function better. And it's been an absolute game changer. And so with your joints, guys, that is how you move. If you move anywhere, you have a joint. And if those joints are inflamed, you're going to hurt. And if you get really bad for a long period of time, they're going to break down. They call that arthritis. That arthritis, that itis, that's oxidation or breakdown in your joints. We call it rust and metal. In your joints, we call it arthritis. That same thing happens in every cell, every tissue. Just in your brain, we call Alzheimer's disease or dementia. If it's in your intestinal tract, we might call it colitis. If it's in, you know, your sinus cavity, we call it sinusitis. But it's all the process of breakdown that's all tied to inflammation.
I love how simple you put that. You guys, when you think about a vehicle and an engine maybe that is resting, would you think that that is a trusting engine? That would you take it on a long haul? No, you wouldn't, because it's not going to function and perform like you want it to. And that's really where, when he's talking about the oxidative stress, that is essentially the root cause of disease and dysfunction. Am I right, Dr. B?
Sure, and so you have that process of like literally breakdown. And all of us are breaking down faster the slower we should be. And that's because your systems are either not working or you're breaking it down faster than it can repair. So what we love to do here at LifeVantage and this wellness is to understand that there are key systems that have to be working right in order for you to repair at a good rate. And we call that activating those pathways, activating the healing response, activating energy production, activating those youthful hormones, and then making sure we're supporting the body with what it needs to heal. So the topic of kind of joint health, you have to have things for those joints to repair, otherwise they will not repair it the way they could.
I love that. That is like giving your vehicle what it needs to perform. If you don't put gas in it, it's not going to run, right? You don't put additive in the fuel, it's not going to run cleanly. So it's all of these things that we can do to help our body function. And I love that you mentioned the systems, because our body is composed of multiple systems that have to function and communicate together. So when one fails, it's a no-brainer. It's going to affect something else in our body. The systems have to work together, that they have a function that also works in one big harmony. So Brett, what I want to ask you now is, are there things that we can do that would aid in slowing down the dysfunction or slowing down the damage that we're doing on a daily basis to our bodies, and especially our joints?
So just, you know, a topic of joints here. So I want you to think about whatever you would like to see repair faster. Let's just say it's a joint. That area of your body needs different things. Just like if you remodel a kitchen, it needs different things than if you remodel a bathroom or if you remodel a backyard. So you have to have certain things there, like materials, and then you have to have the people that are going to do the work to show up. Right? If you have all the materials and no workers, it's not going to happen. So to me, when we take this idea of activation, those are the workers, right, that show up to do the work, but you have to have the right ingredients, right? So one of the things specifically that's been a lot of fun for me lately is this, the new product, collagen. You know, if you have to have collagen, so anything that stretches in your body is collagen based. So that means your tendons, your ligaments, your skin. That means your joints. That means your blood vessels. That means your GI tract. But it also creates all the barriers of your body. So your gut barrier, your skin, and your blood-brain barrier, all collagen-based. So if you were going to build a house and you were a little piggy, right, you would build it out of straw, out of sticks, or out of brick. And what kind of house do you want to be, right? So if right now your skin is a result of what you're feeding it. Your joints are a result of what you're feeding and what trauma you're placing on it. So if you're not getting collagen-based structures, like things that actually have collagen in it, which is bone broth or bone marrow, or like the properties of the skin of fish, like cartilaginous material, you literally don't have what you need to make good joints. You just don't have it. So if you don't have it, you're kind of like my kids. Like if you're, and this probably happens to you, Jamie, all the time. If your cup's sitting out, like they drink your water instead of getting their own. Anybody else had it happen in my house?
Right.
Like literally all the time. So your body is no different. It will go and steal from somewhere else in the body in order to function. So if I was a cell and I was a smart cell, and I was a blood vessel cell or a heart cell, and I was a joint cell, I would rather have my heart and blood vessel work better than my joint. So I'm going to steal from the less of a priority. That's why as we age, a lot of times we get less mobile, we tear ligaments and tendons, and our body gets stiff because we're losing elasticity. Many times your body's not having what it needs to address these bigger areas. And so if you're not having collagen-based structures, super critical that you're getting them.
I love that. So just so you guys know, I brought this here so you can see this. This is the liquid collagen that he's talking about. I have been taking this product for about 35 days now. And my background, as I said, I am a former college athlete, and I have worked my body hard ever since I was young. I was also a gymnast. I played multiple sports, and I knew that I had pounded on my body hard. But when I was introduced to the world of activation about 6 years ago, I felt pretty good, I thought, until I felt better. I got these products in my body, and what I was realizing was my recovery was faster. I had more energy. My sleep was better. But now, since I've introduced this collagen, because I will say my diet was probably not great in collagen-based foods, so I was not getting the right ingredients for what I needed to repair the damage that had been happening in my body after being so active for all these years. And I want to continue to be that way. So when I was introduced to this collagen, I knew a little bit about what collagen was, but I love that you brought this up, Brett, just that it is about every stretchy tissue, every connective tissue in your body. Because I feel like the buzzword about collagen is always focused on skin or hair. You don't think about collagen that lies in your bones or in your gut lining or in your brain, in your joints. Everything that we need to function requires collagen. So when I started using this myself about 35 days ago, like I said, I had shoulder injuries. I hurt my knee in March playing basketball. And I'm not kidding. In less than a month, I have felt massive, massive improvements in the mobility of my joints. And I'm so thankful for that, because I had been on other high-end collagens before, but this is exactly why I want you here to talk about this one. What sets this one apart from other collagens on the counter? Why is this so special?
The crazy thing is, I rarely recommended collagen before this. The main reason, like, I just didn't see good results. Like, I mean, I know we need it, right? I try to get people to eat good dietary stuff, but I just didn't see consistent results until they want to take a collagen. And most times it's because they want to dip it with their skin or something like that. And I say, well, go find one. And most of them out there, like a bovine base or something like that, and they're typically powders. And a lot of people have a hard time digesting them, right? So I was not super excited when I heard that Lifetime was going to create a collagen, just because I'm like, well, man, like, I want it to work, right? And like, to me, what we have and the science we have in LifeVantage and how we're literally having so many studies and we're seeing people have results that literally have struggled for decades. I wanted that same thing, but because of the philosophy we have of understanding the process of turning on these cell switches in your body, this collagen is different here. And I'm gonna give you a couple talking points. Number one, you are not what you eat, you're what you absorb. All right, you're not what you eat, you're what you absorb. And so no matter what you eat, if you cannot digest it and you cannot assimilate it, it does not become part of you. So always we want high quality of whatever you have going into you. But if your body cannot break it down, number one, you don't get the benefit. And number two, most of the time you have gut reactions. So people get gassy, they'll get bloaty, they'll get irritated, or they even have pain in other parts of the body. So that's where autoimmune disease starts, is in the gut. So this one here is the protein, which is what collagen is made up of, are little tiny things hooked together, all right? But they're already broken down to the smallest components. So what that means is you're gonna absorb it. That's one. Number two, you're not gonna react to it. So if you have something that's too big and the body doesn't know what it is, it will actually tag it as foreign and create an immune reaction to it. That's where some people get the gassy, the bloaty, or they actually have other joint pain shown, other type of pain shown, like especially in their joints. Or they get foggy brain. Like people, have you noticed when you ate, like, man, my head feels foggy now. That's an immune reaction to the food. And that just, a gut reaction, gassy, bloaty. If you eat something, you have a foggy brain, that is immune reaction. Right? Or if your joints hurt or your skin hurts, that's an immune reaction. That is bad. All right? So it's broken down into small particles. Okay, it's absorbed, right? And then to top it off, it's activated. And what I mean by that, it is really, really cool to go to the grocery store and get all organic foods and lay it on your counter. And hopefully it magically makes a wonderful dinner. Right? But if you put all that food on the counter, somebody had to put it together and put the right things in the right way, in the right ratios, the right doses, and they have to bake it at the right time with the right temperature to get the result. So when you have a phenomenally absorbable product that's super clean, that you don't react to, and you combine it with what's called red quinoa, which activates it, like it's like the oven. It activates the body's production of collagen because it has the components. So it actually activates the body of turning on those ovens to manufacture the collagen. That's what makes this unique. That's what makes us different. That's why we're seeing the results we are. Like, I literally had a lady that I've known for a long time, and she went through chemo and radiation, like, just finished in April, and she started the collagen 5 weeks ago, and she's feeling a difference, right, in just her flexibility, her pliability, her energy. And I said, well, where are the pictures? So she sent these to me yesterday, and literally the difference in her eyebrows and eyelashes and her hair, the last 5 weeks is unreal. But that's just it. But again, your body really doesn't care, guys, about your eyelashes. I know women, I apologize, does not care about your eyelashes, does not care about your eyebrows, and does not really care about your hair. But if you're seeing changes there, that's why she's feeling the changes other places. But we're humans who like to see the changes. So that's why this collagen is so unique. It's why it's so different. And people will say something like on a product, that's a good high quality product is going to be, it might cost something. The most expensive supplement is the one that doesn't work. Like the most expensive product you take is the one that doesn't work. Right? If it works, it's worth it because you're getting the result.
I love all of your analogies and how you understand this. So you guys, when he's talking about activating in the ovens, what he's literally saying is these products that LifeVantage formulates are backed by loads and loads of science, but they stand in a world all of their own because LifeVantage is in the field of nutrigenomics. So studying how nutrition can literally affect gene expression. So the oven are your genes. The genes responsible for producing your antioxidant enzymes, your genes that are responsible for producing your collagen. This is what our products help wake up. So when he's talking about this recipe, I love that. That's exactly right. It's the right things baked at the right time, put together that wake up the right oven, that now you're turning on your body's God-given ability, your natural ability to heal and protect itself. God put a pharmacy inside of your body, and we've discovered how to wake it up and utilize it and optimize our health. And that's why I love that Dr. B is here, because he understands the body and he understands the systems and how they work, but more in the field of nutrition too. How we don't have to use toxins and chemicals and necessarily pharmaceuticals to heal our body. We can unlock our body's own potential. So that's what is so exciting about our LifeVantage products and how they work. They are in a world all of their own. And that's why 6 years ago, when I learned about activation, why I felt the difference over what I was using prior to this. Because I always have been health-minded and I had tried other products, but I didn't necessarily feel anything, but I knew they were good for me. And when you can feel the difference, that there's something so unique and so different like these products that they've put out, it's incredible. Because when people just chalk it up to, I'm getting older, that's just what happens, aches and pains, that's not true. Do you agree, Dr. Brett? That's not true. You don't have to feel that way.
It'd be crazy, the reality. Like, I have people come in here and like, whatever, like they'll be said, oh, my doctor says, and they're maybe they're 65 or 40, right? And like, the doctor said I'm old. I said, that's a horrible cop out freaking excuse. Like, there are people in their 80s and 90s running friggin' marathons. Right? I don't want to necessarily run a marathon, but I want to be active, right? So your body, until you're dead, is always trying to repair. Always. All right. So it will repair if you give it time and you give it what it needs, and it has a reason. And what I mean by a reason is, you watch, the kids are my favorite. They're hilarious. I'm so tired. Let's clean the yard. Oh, too tired. Let's go to Disneyland. They have all the energy in the world. So if you don't have a purpose, like I want to be a grandma or a grandpa or whatever it is, you will be more tired because you don't have a purpose. Right. So like, as I look at everybody on this right now, there is a purpose here with people here that want to change lives. Right. And so you want to have a purpose, and then understand your cells don't need to be told what to do. You just need to give them what they need and remove what they don't need. And one thing I want to kind of talk to, just before we run out of time, is the fact is, well, how long will it take? I get this all the time. I go, well, how long should I do this? Well, I've been married 26 years, and at last I checked, my wife still wants me to tell her I love her every day. All right, you do things every day that matter, that make a difference. Maybe not that day, but they will make a difference. All right, when it comes to how your body heals and repairs, and if you've been treating your spouse really bad for several years, it's going to take a little while for them to believe you. Right? Or you're whatever. If you've been mean to your body for a while and it's like, well, I was nice to you yesterday, guess what? It may not believe you. So when it comes to your body getting like improving and going the right direction, it takes time and consistency for that to take place. But I want to give you a little perspective on that. So when we're talking about this idea of activation, you turn these cells on, right? What you see happen in the first days, that's just what's going to see happen in 6 months, just like exercise. Like I exercised yesterday, it should be good for you. It'd be nice. That's not how it works. So understand the results you have are based upon consistency. But I want you to have perspective. So when you're starting to turn your body system on and being nice to your cells, like the first 7 days when you first exercise, it's pretty miserable sometimes. Now, most time with these products, you don't have that. But if you're sore and achy, that's because your body's doing something different, right? But you're going to start seeing changes in the tissues that repair fastest first. What I mean by that is that your skin cells repair faster than your joint. So that's why what you're seeing in some of the post maybe people have showed you is that you see changes in the skin 7 days in, 14 days in, 21 days in, 45 days in. You see a lot of skin type improvements because it changes first. Those cells repair faster. Same with the intestinal tract. Those cells are fairly quick. But joint cells are slower. Like I love Shauna Muckle's husband, like watching the video of him, like watching him walk hurts me. Like when I met him years ago, I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible. But watching him walk now, like I'm excited to see what happens in 3 months and 6 months. So when you're dealing with joint, and that's one of the things you want to see change, or you're hoping to see change, understand you have to give it long enough for that to repair. If you're talking about bone, like if you had a bone break, right? You know you're in a cast for 6 weeks, but that bone remodels for a year. Now, if you're looking for brain-based changes, you know the nervous system heals even slower than that. So just keep that in mind. If you're like, I'm not sure it's working. Well, I can guarantee you eating bad is working. You just may not feel it yet. So most of what I do is preventatively because of what I don't want to feel. Right? We got to keep that mindset. And so but understand if you're looking at some of these products that's maybe part of the tools you want to use in your healthcare journey or your families, understand the area of the body you're trying to improve or the symptoms you're trying to improve has a lot to do with what tissue is involved. You got to give it the time and then remove the obstacle.
I love that, Brett. You and I think so much alike on this that it's so important to be more proactive. I'm trying to do the things on the daily that are going to help me stay away from the things that I've watched my family suffer through. Because if you can take proactive steps, obviously you're moving in the right direction. I don't want to wait until something bad happens to then take action. So that's why I'm so excited to bring this information to people that they have options. They have tools in their tool belt that they can lean on to help optimize their health. So Brett, the last question that I want to ask, and I'm going to gear this more towards the athletes or the active adults. Because I've coached for years too, and I just got done coaching my high school team this summer, our club team, and this is what I'm seeing. Club basketball or any of these high school sports that are happening right now, they seem to be far more intense, even at the younger ages, even at the 8, 10, 12-year-old range. Sports are insane right now to me, and I love sports, but I feel like it's a little over the top because these kids are pushing their bodies so hard and they do so much nonstop work that now by the time I'm seeing them as sophomores or seniors, they're having significant surgeries already on joints, on their back, on their shoulders, on their knees. Baseball that are playing 80, 90 games a summer. What would you say to either a current high school athlete, a college athlete, a former athlete that's still trying, like myself, still trying to be competitive, or the parent of an athlete that competes at a high level? What would you say the value of these products would provide to them to help get the edge in their performance?
Yeah, I love that you asked this, and the reason being, guys, how many miles you drive determines how much you have to gas up. And so you can take a brand new car and drive it a lot of miles and it can look really old way too soon. I have a son who's 9th grader and he's playing a ton of sports. I have a competitive dancer. She's in dance in college. And, you know, the amount of time that they put into their bodies is unbelievable. And so with them, guess what? You're darn right. Like they're taking the collagen, they're taking the activators, the nerve 1, the nerve 2, the NAD. They're taking other things to make sure their bodies have what it needs to repair. Right. And so if it's someone like that, so I want them, you know, if you're trying to prevent, which is great, but if you want to function at a certain level, like you want to make sure you're supporting your body at that level. And I'm not a minimalist person. So in other words, like if you're going to push your body hard, just like you're going to drive a lot, you have to fill your car up more often. So if you're somebody that's pushing that hard, and pushing that hard just doesn't have to be activity, like physical activity, it can be how stressed you are. Because you burn a lot of energy worrying. Right? So whether it's physical stress or mental stress, like in athletes, they need to be, in my opinion, so my son, like he's growing like crazy right now. So guess what? I have him taking a lot more nutrients right now and the collagen right now because he's in the building phase. So as a mom, like so if a mom like is pregnant or like you know nursing a baby, well guess what? They should need more nutrients than someone that's not. Or if you have like multiple toddlers running around or young kids like Jamie does, darn right. She's probably getting less sleep, right? And so they need more nutrients. So keep that in mind. It's not necessarily your age, it's your activity. And whether, to me, it's, you know, when you have a young person, they're building their bodies a lot. To me, that's where it's critical. Really, it's most critical to get good nutrients at a young age and as we get older. Like I think everybody should have them all the time, but when you're in a building phase, you need them that much more. And that's going to happen, especially from kids from the time they're born until they're in their early 20s. But then you need to do the support after that because your body just is not building as fast, but especially then you get older.
I love that. You have so many great analogies, just like mind blowing. Like it's point blank that we have to take care of our bodies, and people need to definitely be more mindful of what they're using to fuel their bodies with. So you guys, in my background and Brett's too as well, it's not just supplemental products that help you, but that definitely helps give you the edge to get towards your goals. But it's managing your stress and using nutrition correctly and sleeping correctly. Managing all these different areas of your life all play a role, and they come together, and that's when you feel and live your best. I love this. Brett, thank you so much for your wisdom tonight. You guys, I hope that you learned a little bit more about collagen and that it extends far past just your skin and hair, that it's so incredibly important to all systems in your body, and why this liquid collagen that is activated is so much different from anything else on the market. This is a first to market activated liquid collagen. So if you enjoyed this tonight, I'm so glad that you were here. Come back again next Wednesday for another topic. Please reach out to the person that invited you to this Wellness Wednesday if you'd like more information on the collagen or any of the other LifeVantage products, because we can definitely customize something to help you get on the path of living your best life. So everyone, have a great night. Have a great Wednesday. And thanks again, Dr. B.
Thank you, Jamie. All right, guys. Have a good night.
Recording stopped.
Thanks everyone for joining this evening. Have a good night.